Hey everybody, I am Trevor, I'm from COGconnected, and I'm here to tell you about the Falconeer on the Xbox Series X. On November 10th, the Falconeer launches on the Series X. For the past couple days, I've had a chance to check it out, and I'm here to give you some of my early impressions of what I've experienced so far. I'll admit, I went in with low expectations. To me, the Falconeer doesn't exactly scream day one purchase, especially for those looking for a true next-gen experience on their shiny new Series X consoles. I mean, I'll shoot straight with you. It's a little rough. It has some bugs. I'm still fighting with some of the controls, but when you factor in that this game was made by one person, the Falconeer is without question an impressive little indie game. So what is the Falconeer exactly? Well, it's almost like it sounds. It's a third-person air combat game where you play as a Falconeer in control of this huge bird. It plays out like many other dogfighting flying games we've seen over the years. You'll fly to various objectives, battle against other Falconeers, and encounter a variety of enemies like flying beetles and manta rays. The build I was given access to is near final. Yes, there'll be some patches and some other bug fixes over the next couple weeks, but overall it looks as close to finish as it could possibly get. Visually, it's decent. It reminded me of Sea of Thieves, with its cel-shaded, stylish art style. I mean, sure, there's going to be other AA games that are going to blow it out of the air. In fact, it falls short in the visuals department compared to some other games I've previewed on the Series X, like Dirt 5 and Yakuza Like a Dragon. We have videos of both of those games on our channel. Definitely check them out. But I mean, again, this is to be expected. This was made by one guy, Tomas Sala, and he did this all by himself. So that in and of itself is definitely an impressive feat. Like I mentioned, I've only scratched the surface so far. I'm still wrestling with the controls a little. Flying games have never really been in my wheelhouse, so for the first hour, I kept going back and forth between inverted and regular controls. I know, laugh at me. That's just me. These aren't usually my kind of games that I've played, and it's definitely been many, many years since I played some of those older flying games. But it wasn't long before I hit my stride, probably about an hour in, and then I felt like I knew what I was doing. Well, mostly. The Falconeer doesn't really hold your hand in any way. There are many times I wasn't quite sure what to do, so in those times I would just fly around, which in and of itself is actually quite enjoyable. Just cruising along at a high altitude, checking out the scenery below is relaxing. Diving towards the water and through a wind tunnel, that can be exhilarating as all hell. So there is a lot of takeaway with the game from just in those moments of exploration. I find that the Falconeer really shines. The combat certainly has potential, but the targeting system is a little bit confusing. Like I mentioned, I'm not far in. I'm still learning, but admittedly, I'm not feeling comfortable engaging in aerial attacks. As can be expected, shooting enemies from a bird in the sky is no small chore. For a simple aim and shoot kind of guy, I found it a bit of a struggle. There are times the camera just seems to have a mind of its own, which was inevitably messing me up. There's a compass system in the game that acts as sort of your navigation system. Like the combat, it can be a bit confusing. It's a busy bar. There's a lot going on. But again, I'm sure the more I play around with the game, the more I'll get accustomed to it, the more I'll start to really rely on this thing. A word of caution, the text in the game is super small. That white blends into the game a little too much, so I'm really hoping they tweak that. For a guy with my old eyes, I found it a struggle, but maybe you young bucks won't have a problem. The Falconeer does run brilliantly on the Series X. It loads in a flash, features steady frame rates, and as far as indie games are concerned, it is a decent looking title. I'm looking forward to continuing my journey and seeing what kind of tweaks and updates arrive in the days before launch. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a subscribe, give us a like, give us a share, do all the things. We are thankful for it. Thanks for checking this out.